Welcome to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. It's your opportunity to learn more about your garden and your yard, about dealing with pests, and about taking care of the birds. You can be part of the show with your questions at 395-1450. That's 395-1450. And now, from DeBruyn Seeds on Washington Avenue in Zeeland, here's the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Now, live and in person from WHTC studio here. This is fun. This is Jan Meeuwsen. And what, a kind of rainy Saturday. I guess this is kind of normal, but hey, it'll be okay, I guess. It's kind of a horrible day to be outside doing anything, but you could plan things. There are a lot of things that need to be done right now, so we can get that going. But we'll talk about that later. It's always not that much fun to talk about chores, but I can talk to you about Puerto Rico. I'm still collecting for Puerto Rico. If you've got any medications that you didn't give all of them to your dog or cat or frog or whatever you've got for a pet, I'll gladly take them and send them down to Puerto Rico. To Island Dogs and Save a Gato. Just bring it right to the store, to DeBruyn Seed on Elm in Washington and Zeeland, and I will gladly get it down. I'm going to pack up some more boxes this week, so if you've got any pet supplies that you need that will fit in a box, remember, don't get anything too large because I gotta send this down there in boxes. So yes, I'll take any meds, any pet supplies, bandage materials, nursing materials like KMR, S-Black, little bottles, whatever you got, especially like heartworm medicines, flea and tick medicine. Remember, they always have flea and ticks year round down there. Any pain or anti-inflammation meds, and any antibiotics, ear, eye, whatever. I'll take it all. So just bring it on into DeBruyn Seed. We have kind of ended the major grass seed push for the year. We're at the very end of planting grass seed down right now. Problem is the soil is a lot warmer than the air is right now. So if you put grass seed down and it's in the soil, it's warm and now it's moist, it will start to germinate. And the problem is it comes up above the ground and we get a frost and it's just very young. It will die. So we're going to hope, if you're going to really need to put down grass seed now, put down something that comes in quickly, like the perennial ryegrasses do. So if you're doing a mix, do it something high in perennial ryegrasses or just straight perennial ryegrass right now. So hopefully it will come up and be big enough and strong enough when we get our first frost. So really do think about winding that up this weekend. We're at October 14, and they'll say it's in the middle of October. So that's right now. So we really need to get that done with for the year. The good thing is we're not done with putting down fall fertilizer. If you have not done that, you have until the snow flies. You can't put fertilizer down on top of snow, but you can put fertilizer down anytime in the fall. In fact, Michigan State will recommend a good high nitrogen fertilizer if you're going to do it in the late fall, like say, end of October up to Thanksgiving, do a high nitrogen at that point in time. So we're not beyond putting down fertilizer. Fertilizer this time of year helps the crown of the plant. That's the part that's between the blade and the roots. That's called the crown. That's kind of where the storehouse of energy is. So if it can go into winter, with that being fed and it's growing and it's healthy, then you'll get nice green grass next spring and it won't die over the winter. So that's really important to get it going. It really helps for next year. Fall is the most important time to put down fertilizer. So let's keep that in mind. If you haven't done it yet, you still have time to do it. Again, until Thanksgiving, actually, to put down your fall fertilizer. And it's actually, still time to put down a weed and feed, except we need to have a dry day, which I think is going to be impossible I haven't seen any days. Have you seen any? No. Okay, so probably not a good idea. Maybe if we get a dry day, 24 hours of dry, you can quick get some weed killer down on your lawn. And it's not like you're going to see the weeds die this fall, but it does get those little perennial weeds that you're not even seeing right now, but they're down there and they've germinated and they're going to just keep growing come next spring. So you're going to kill those off. So you won't see those weeds in the spring. So you don't get that complete enjoyment that I get out of when you put down weed killer in the summer and it just dies. I love that feeling. You're not going to see that. You're not going to get that feeling. You're just going to go, well, at least next spring, I don't have to do anything. So that's the good part about putting down weed killer now. The insects outside are going bananas. When we do get those dry periods, they are wanting to come inside the house and spend winter with you. So we've got box elder bugs, stink bugs, the Asian ladybugs. They all want to come and spend winter with you inside your walls. I would just as soon they not be there. You can prevent that from happening by putting down a bug barrier around your house. I have done this already this fall. I've gone outside with my home defense. I've got a gallon of it with a little wand sprayer that I just push down and it goes. And so you go from the house out 4 feet and spray, and then you go up the foundation right to where the siding meets, and then you go around doors, windows, any other place where they might get in. They can get in. And then I go in the house and I go under the sink by the pipes. That's where they also come in. So just get it where they live. Home defense can be used inside or outside, or they do have an inside one, just strictly inside one also. So you can do both places. You won't get the fall insects that will become the indoor insects and the winter insects. I hate seeing them. You know what? In the winter, we always, in the studio here, all of a sudden you'll just see a little box elder bug crawling across the board or crawling across, just walking, kind of strolling across the table here. Every once in a while we get that because you get a warm day and they go out and they think, oh, it's spring. And they go out to the warm side of the wall, which is inside rather than going outside. So that's why they come in the fall. They don't, or in the winter, they're not going to eat anything. They don't bite you. They're not harmful to anything indoors. It's just, I don't want them there. And then when they do come out, if you smash them, they usually leave a stain, and the stink bugs will absolutely stink horribly. And what that does is call all the other stink bugs to come on out and see what happens. So, the easiest way, either vacuuming them up and then emptying the vacuum cleaner, or I take a piece of tape. I like duct tape. Put it on my jeans first and then pull it off so it isn't really, really sticky. And then just put it right over top of the bug and then lift the tape up. And it's and you can just wad up the tape and throw it away because he's stuck on the tape. It's really nice. Easy way to do it. You don't have to touch the bug. You don't have to smash the bug. It's done. The stink bugs don't let off any odor, and you haven't made a great big red spot on your wall. So that's the way to do it. When they do come in, you're always going to get one or two. I brought a whole bunch of stink bugs in when I brought in some greens that I had cut off from my bushes outside, and I brought them in, and oh my goodness, they warmed up and the stink bugs came out of the greens, and I'm like, no, don't want to do this anymore. And I don't now. Now I get, if I'm going to do something in the house, I will go to the florist and get the greens. Then they're not full of stink bugs. That was horrible. Yeah, that was just horrible. And I've never really seen it when we've been this cold, and I'm getting calls about hornets and ground bees. they're still out there. Once we get a good frost, they will be gone. Only the queen survives of either hornets or yellow jackets. The rest of them are all dead, thankfully. So then you can take down the nest that they made. Hornets are not going to use that great big, look like a great big gray balloon. They don't use that twice, so you can take it down once we have a frost. If they're still going in and out of it, I wouldn't go near it. And it doesn't look like that many are going in and out, but once you get up on a ladder to start, knocking that thing down, you'll find out there's still a bunch of them. So don't do that right now. Let's just wait until we get a good frost. It shouldn't be that much longer. We can hold out, I think, hopefully until they're gone. But do be careful around them. This time of year, they are just mad. It's not you just have to be outside, and that's a good enough reason for them to sting you. So don't be, I'm just going to go up on this ladder and I'm going to be okay. You cannot outrun them. There's no way, especially going down a ladder, and then there's no way. Even if you're on the ground, make sure you've got a way out quickly to get a way out, and maybe in the garage, and be safe from that. Always plan your exit. It's a good idea. Even if you're spraying, in the evening or first thing in the morning, there's still going to be some that are awake. There's always people that are awake too. Hey, there's bugs that are awake too. That's the fun thing. Okay, now we've also got to be putting our gardens to bed. They're looking pretty horrible. I was looking at the church garden. Yes, it's time to put those things to bed. There's still some things out there. There's still some kale and some Brussels sprouts that look good. But come on, folks, those tomatoes and peppers, it's time to go along with the beans. Let's pull all those plants out of the garden and pick up all of the little things that leave seeds there, because when they grow next year, you have no idea what's growing. So make sure you pick all of those things up, get those plants out of the ground. Now there are some flowers left, so hey, you might want to pick them all, put them in a vase. We aren't going to get too many more of those, like some zinnias. I saw some zinnias in the garden yet that still looked good. But the rest of them are looking pretty well gone. I put a bunch of mums in. I put a bunch of pansies in. We still have mums. We still have pansies. We still have ornamental kale and ornamental cabbage out there, and a couple of Montauk daisies yet. So there's still time to put those out. We need to stop and take a break so Jan can have a glass of water and Adam can go to work and I can watch him work. But we will be back after these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
All right, we are back. We are talking about some of the fall chores that we have to get done. One is, okay, we've got the beautiful mums and pansies. Get those planted here right now for a fall, nice yellow and purple and pink flowers during the fall that look nice even after a frost. Get those planted. But now you can also, it's the middle of October. It's time to get those daffodil and tulip bulbs in the ground also. We have got a beautiful assortment of daffodil and tulip bulbs. And Ken's got, there are 20 yellow daffodils are on sale for $9.98. And I had put on the sign up above the store 10 daffodils because I couldn't believe that 20 daffodils were $9.98. And he told me, no, that's 20, Jan. So it really isn't. It wasn't a typo. So it is 20 daffodil bulbs for $9.98. And there's also 20 mixed tulip bulbs for $9.98. So there's no excuses now. Let's get out there, pick up your plants, bulbs, and get out there and plant. And I forgot to say, yes, the phone lines are open, 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450 is the number to call if you've got any questions. Our bird seed sale at DeBruyn's goes through the end of today. So you have got until 3 o'clock this afternoon to get a 40-pound bag of black oil sunflower seeds for $14.98. It's a great deal. And we do have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show.
Good morning, Jan. Could you please tell me how far I can cut hydrangeas?
Okay, you got the round type things, or do you have the kind of cone-shaped ones?
The round ones.
Round ones. Okay, right now, to be safe, you can go back to like the first set of green leaves that are coming out. So if you go back on each stem, go back to the first set of green leaves that are on the stem and then cut it right there, because that's where the bulb is going to be for next year, more than likely, if there's going to be one. There might even be a little swelling there already. So first set of green leaves, go back on there. If it's too full, I mean, you could take a whole cane down right to the ground. If it's an old one, you can take that out and kind of refresh the bush a little bit. You won't get as many flowers next year, but it will help the bush overall if it isn't too crowded in there. It'll get more sunlight down to the base, but everything right down to that first set of green leaves.
Okay, because right now they're really spreading all over the place.
Yeah, mine are actually dropping to the ground. So, yes, I have to do the same thing.
Mine are about up to my front window, so I have to do something, but I wasn't quite sure how far. So,
yep.
Thank you. I appreciate your help in your program.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And you have fun doing that.
Oh, I'm going to wait till it's
I was going to say,
no?
Yeah, wait till it's not raining out. Yes.
Okay. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye. I haven't done that with mine because they're kind of pretty yet, even though they're kind of drooping. Hey, it's flowers. And what can I say? Even though they're past their prime of being really purple, they're kind of cool. I want to try dry some of those, but I know you cut them off and hang them upside down, but I don't have any place to hang them upside down, really. Oh, we have another caller on the line. Good morning. You're on the Garden Show.
Hi, Jan. I have two questions, please. First is, I missed how long that daffodil sale is on.
That is going to be for another week, so you've got plenty of time here.
So another week for that one.
Yep.
And I also missed, is the calendar deadline over for pets?
No, you can send them to me. That's not a problem.
Do you have a deadline for that?
Well, the next week or two,
Okay, that sounds good too.
I'm only working.
So much. And is it still okay to clean our birdhouses out? Are they starting to go in there for warmth, or did we miss the time to clean them out?
No, actually, I think it'd be a great time because they're going in there just to get out of the rain. So from our lights, at least that's what I think they're doing at mine. So I would get them cleaned out now. Yeah.
I'll clean them out on a sunny day so they're not needing to get out of the rain.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jan.
Yep, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, if you do have some pictures of your pets, do email them over to me at DeBruyn Seed, and it's DeBruynSeed@gmail.com, DeBruynS as in Sam, EED @gmail.com. I will gladly put them in the calendar. So right now I'm still working on the days at the bottom, so to make sure I've got those in there correctly. So I haven't worked on the picture part of it yet. So you're still safe. You still can get them in. I've got some really cute ones this year. There's absolutely adorable pictures that I've got. People take such nice pictures of their animals, and I cannot take a really good picture of my black cat. It always just looks like a mess of black on the ground, or it doesn't really, and he's absolutely adorable little guy. But I just can't seem to take a really good photo. I have been trying because I get all these really cute ones in, and how did they take that picture? I'm so jealous. Mine don't, I can take pictures of birds all day long, but my cat, no, I've never had this problem. Maybe because I've never had an all black cat, but it just looks like a black circle of fur. That's all it ever looks like. So It doesn't look like a cute little cat all curled up sleeping. So, yeah, okay. So, Stanley may not be in the photos, but hey, all of yours can still be in there. So get it over to me. Okay, we are still talking about the fall things you need to do, your chores. You need to pick up that black oil sunflower seed, $14.98 for a 40-pound bag. That's an incredible price right now. So $14.98. Get there before 3:00 today when we close, because this is the last day of that sale. And all the rest of the stuff that's on sale too. I just made signage for all of the new prices, so they're going up. So they're not going up to the prices that they were at the beginning of the summer. So that's always a good thing. So it's still going to be a good deal, just not a fantastic deal. So stock up on the black oil sunflower today. The bird feeders are still going to be 15% off. So, we still can get a bird feeder. If you get out there and you're filling up your old bird feeder and it just isn't going to work for another winter, it's a good time to get a new one. 15% off. Ken is going to extend that for another week or two. So come on in and get that. Got some good sales going on. Oh, but we do have another one. I've had so many phone calls this week. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had. I've got mice in my house, and I've never had them before. I've lived here for X amount of years, and I have mice now. They're under my sink. They're in my basement. They're in my garage. There's an awful lot of mice out there that are found nice warm homes now. So you're going to need to take a trip on down to DeBruyn's and go to the rodent cafe that we have. There is everything you possibly might want to get rid of those little four-legged pests that come in your house. Now, whether that be traps or bait boxes or sprays to keep them away from places, we've got it all. So, have a talk with Caleb or Greg or Kyle or Ken or me of what you need to do to get those mice out of there. I hate mice. I hate mice with a passion. I don't know why. Maybe because, when I was in school, I had to do so many things with mice and rats that really don't care to ever look at them again. So I don't want them in my house. So yes, I put out traps, and I put out peanut butter with a little bird seed on it. We do have bait in the store, which probably is better. It's actually meant to attract mice to the trap, and then snaps and they're gone. And then it also doesn't, how that peanut butter can dry up, or if you're going to put an apple. I know apples are preferred by rats. They dry up, and then they're no good because they don't want them then. So the bait that you buy, it's a little tiny jar, and it's not that much. Actually doesn't dry out, so it's a good thing to use to put on your traps. It's another thing, And there's traps there's the old wood and wire trap. We've got those. I hate taking the dead mice out of there. Not a fan. So there is the other trap that you just squeeze at the one end, put your bait at the other end, and have them run through it, and those things will snap down on them. You could put them in your hand, and it will snap down on your hand with no problem, as long as you don't have rheumatoid arthritis like I do with my fingers. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt you or do anything like that. But it does kill a mouse, which absolutely surprises me. But mice don't have very thick bones, so keep that in mind. And that little snap can really get them. If I hear a snap in my garage and I know I've got a mouse, I don't go out there right away. I want to make sure it's dead. So I give it 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Then I know it's going to be dead. And then you can take it over to the garbage and let it go. Or I've also taken it over to the lake behind the house and let them swim. if I catch them alive, they go out for a swimming lesson at my house. But I used to have a cat that used to catch mice and bring them to me, and they'd still be alive. And I learned really quickly how to catch them, and then I would just bring them out and just throw them in the lake and go swimming, be free. Okay, well, enough of that, of my sadistic abilities here. We need to stop, listen to the news. I will be back with the garden show right after that happens.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm busy here ordering lunch for the guys at work. So, hey, terrible me here. I just want to feed my guys. All right. We were talking about mice and in-the-house mice. You're going to have to either do traps. You can put a bait box down. I would put one of those that you can't open, or just one that's a non-refillable bait box. You can set those out. I also would spray underneath the sinks, around baseboards, in places maybe around the furnace room, around the garage with the rodent stopper, especially like around the walls or around the what do I want to say? Around the walls where they like to run. Mice like to run right next to the walls. They have their fur actually touching the walls. That's why sometimes you'll see, if you have a lot of mice, you'll actually see where they run when it's on the wall. Spray those areas with the rodent stopper. It smells good. It's not going to hurt your pets or your kids or anything like that. So get that sprayed, get that out there, and you'll get that done, and then we can get that traps out. Maybe you want to even put the traps right in line. Make sure you put the traps perpendicular to the wall. Remember, mice don't like to be out in the middle of the room. They're going to be right next to the wall. So that's where you're going to put your traps, and you're going to put them perpendicular to the wall. You're not going to put them parallel to the wall. You're going to put them perpendicular to the wall, and that will catch them the best. Spray under your sinks. The rodent stopper works really good to keep them away from coming back in. And, it's important to get them out now. Otherwise, they're going to be in there all winter long. And these aren't like the box elder bugs. These guys will do some harm. They will chew on wires. They'll make nests in the walls. You'll hear them in the walls. It's not a fun thing. So let's make sure that we do get those guys out of there now. If you've got a camper or a car or truck or boat that you're going to store for the winter, you're not going to be in it. Well, I'll tell you, that's a perfect place for a mouse to go in and have a family in there, and chew on wires, etc. So what we've got for there, you can spray inside and outside around the car with a rodent stopper, but you can also we've got these little, they look like sachet things. It's called Mouse Magic. And I think you get 2 or 3 per box. And you just put that inside the car, like put it on top of the engine block, or put that around, like on a seat, so they're not chewing on your upholstery and they're not chewing on your wires. That works really well. We tested that, Craig and I, and we put it in the inside of the car that we are actually driving, and it didn't smell that bad. I wasn't put off by it, but I guess the rodents don't like that smell. So you don't have to worry about it being horrible. So we've got that taken care of. Okay. Yes. Get rid of them now. Get rid of those mice right now. We want to take care of them. Don't give them a chance to come in. And also check out if you've got a barn or an outbuilding, a shed of some sort. I would check for rodents in there too. They will they'll take any kind of refuge in a storm. So they're probably going to be in there because it's raining outside right now. They don't like it any more than we do. So get out there with your traps, your bait boxes, your sprays, whatever you can do. They're all at the Rodent Cafe. We've got a large selection of what you can use right now. As I've said it in the past, the EPA wants to eliminate all mouse rodenticides that we would use as customers. You would need a license, a registered use pesticide license for putting down any kind of rodenticides. So what you would be able to buy, and I'm not kidding you, if this passes, and it will end of February, it will become true, what you'll be able to buy is those little pre-filled bait boxes, the little tiny ones like Decon, or the gummy worms for moles. That is it that you will be able to buy. So no poisons whatsoever. So, it's one of those things you may want to, coming in January, I think I'm going to stock up a little bit. You won't be able to buy just, some extra poison to put in a refillable bait box. That's going to be out the window. It's just you're not going to be able to get it. My guess is it's going to pass. When I was in Houston at the show, they had the big hearing in the House chambers and the Senate chambers. They had a lot of people that, hey, we really need them. They aren't going to hurt too many things. Let's, outside of what we want. But they are upset about, you get it in the mice, they don't die, or if they do die and a hawk grabs it, then it's in the whole chain of things. So we want that to be, it's yeah, you got to kind of weigh out the the circumstances here, but we don't want to get it in the food chain. So, what do you do? And I understand it's very important for Southern California where the condors are. I can see banning any kind of rodenticides down there because that's what they eat. I don't mind the turkey vultures up here. I don't think they really mind. I don't think they really eat mice, but they seem to be immune to everything. So I guess it doesn't bother me with those. Hawks, it does. So be careful. If you got a lot of hawks around, don't put any rodenticides down. But, coming end of February, they're going to make their final decision on this. And there's nothing we can really do anymore. They've had their hearings. They've done everything, they can possibly do. So we'll see how big the organization is that wants to get rid of the EPA is, and how, if they get their way or not. Every year it seems like we get more and more things taken away from us. Every year there's less and less. I mean, even lime sulfur spray is a thing of the past, and that really wasn't all that harmful. And they just take it off the market, and it's just gone, and it's gone forever. So, learn to love the little small packs of rodenticides, because that might be all we're going to get. And stock up now if you want anything else. We need to stop and take a break here. My clock is gone, and I don't know where it is here. There was normally a clock right in front of me, and I knew when the breaks were. So, okay, I am sorry. We have to take a break now.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener. Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
All right. Now, Adam it's not his fault that there is no clock here anymore. I don't know. It might be in somebody's office, but it was always kind of nice. I knew how much time I had left, but
I'm only here on the weekends, really. So
okay. So
I don't know what happens.
You.
I don't know what happens during the week.
Okay. So, but we will blame you for any rain or thunderstorms we get. Okay.
I don't do the weather anymore either.
Boy, he is quick to just back off from any responsibility. My goodness. Okay, well, that being that, I do have a couple minutes left, and you can get a phone call in there yet. 616-395-1450 is the number to call. Oh, and there is a caller on the line right now. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show.
Yes. I have a question for Jan, please.
Yep, this is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question for Jan, please.
Yep, this is Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's on. Can I talk to you directly?
Yeah. You can turn down your radio so that doesn't confuse you.
Okay, sure. I hear somebody else talking to you now, so I'm a little confused. Okay. Yeah. I had a question about. Yeah, I had a question about some hibiscus I had in my perennial garden this year.
Sure.
I have two big plants, and they're actually being pretty much shaded now by a redbud tree that's gotten really huge and beautiful, but it's shading so much of my perennial garden. And I had one bloom on it is all. Usually they're these big, like the pancake type of flowers.
Yep.
And is that because of the shade that they're not blooming, or do I need to fertilize them?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get a little more sunlight on them. They don't need total sunlight. They will take a little bit of shade. I mean, if you can open up the tree and trim down the tree a little bit, it would help. But yeah, they're going to need more sun than what they're getting right now.
Okay. All right. I thought it might be it. The other thing I've always wondered about is my irises. They just haven't bloomed for years. And I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what's going on, because when I look at them, there's just like the green stems come up, like always. Mm-hmm. But then there isn't anything comes up that makes a flower. So is there like a bunch of tubers down there that I need to separate that I'm not aware of? It looks like a couple stems, so I didn't think there's much down there.
I would dig them up and separate them. They won't bloom if they're too close together. Yeah. So I would dig them up. You still have time yet to dig them up and get rid of any squishy spots, and then replant them and separately.
Now, do they like to be close to the top of the soil?
Yeah, they don't go down too far. They're going to be down a little bit further than, say, a peony bush, but they don't go down terribly far. So maybe 2 inches, and that should be fine.
And the peonies are supposed to be planted deeply, huh?
Peonies are right near the top of the soil.
Oh, they're at the very top.
Yeah, they're right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not really blooming either for me, but that could be also because they're in the perennial garden, and I need to get them more sun.
They have, a tendency to grow down a little further every year. So, yeah, you might want to, just pull those up and get
some new ones.
Yeah, get some, cut them off first and then dig them up and put them back in, but not quite so deep. That should be fine for those.
Oh, just dig them up and replant them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, take the tops off first. Yeah.
Too, but those were two of the main things about things that weren't blooming.
Yep.
But and the irises need sun too.
Irises need sun, yes.
Okay, so that's part of the problem too. I'm in a shady spot. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun.
Thanks for what you do. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yes, you still do have time to dig up your perennials. I mean, if the middle of a group of black-eyed Susans or coneflowers really is not blooming anymore, it's just telling you we need to be divided. So dig it up, cut it up into separate things, and plant them separately. Give them away. You'll get out of every one clump you get at least 2 or up to 4 or 5. So dig and divide. That's the motto for the fall with your perennial beds. Once you do that, the perennial beds really during the summer are really not that hard to take care of, but they do need to be divided every once in a while. And situations change. What used to be in full sun 10 years ago may not be in full sun anymore. Trees have this tendency to grow and shade things out. So the things that were once there blooming like crazy are not anymore because they need more sun. I remember my mom's perennial garden, and she spent a lot of time in it when I was growing up. And she had this beautiful crabapple tree, and she would trim that every winter, but it just got to be this beautiful shape, and it just got bigger and bigger. And you could see in her perennial bed there was nothing underneath where that tree was. I think she finally found one thing that would live under there, but it was kind of funny how the bigger the tree got, the more there wasn't anything underneath it anymore. So she really had to cut that thing back so she could plant her flowers. She was running out of room when she was doing that. So yes, dig and divide, and make sure you plant them where they need to be. Most of them like full sun. So yeah, it's kind of a shame, especially if you got too much shade, but do remember to trim your trees in the winter. It's best to do it like in February, March, so you can actually see how much you have to trim and where you have to trim. So, keep that in mind that you need to do that in the winter and get your things that need to be in the sun out in the sun right now. This is the best time of year to transplant your perennials. So, get that going, and actually cut off the tops of the perennials right now. I would get it cleaned up. Mice like to live in the clumps of perennials because you can't see them, and it's a nice warm little spot there. So cut off the tops. It helps with the plant, looks better, and it doesn't have mice there. So get that down. And it is not the time to put down wildflower seed. I will repeat, not the time to put down wildflower seed. Excuse me, I had to cough. You put it down, it's like grass seed. It's going to start to germinate. Once it comes out of the ground and it's too cold, it's going to die. Don't think that it's going to last until next spring. It's going to germinate and be dead. So don't do it now. If you want to frost seed it, frost seeding you do in February and March when the ground is frozen, and when you get those freeze thaw cycles, that's when you put down your wildflower seeds. All right, got that in. I will be here Tuesday morning from 8:30 with Dan for the garden party, and I will be here on Tuesday morning at 10 to 11 with Gary for the garden hour, and I will be back here next Saturday at 11:05 with the garden show. Oh, I think I got it right. Yes. All right. This is 2 weeks in a row. I've gotten that right. So until next Saturday at 11:05, go green.
You've been listening to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com. If you wish to hear this or other programs hosted by the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland, check out the podcast section of our website, WHTC.com, and listen or download for free. The Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show is a presentation of 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.